This is not for the squeamish. This is if you are a warrior. Listen up. Warrior Wednesday. We have a lot to cover. Let's begin with October is National Domestic Violence Month, and it intersects with human trafficking. And by that I mean both use force, fraud, and coercion to obtain control of their victims. I want all of you to understand what is going on, because everything I tell you about is escalating even as I sit here and talk to you about all of this. I also need you to join me at Take Action. It's very important. If you do anything, because people always say to me, what can I do to help? I give you the Take Actions. I make it easy for you. Apple allows CSAM, child sexual abuse material, on their iCloud. They are allowing predators to store it on the iCloud. Now, the Warriors is part of a new initiative called the HEAT Initiative, along with about 20 other organizations across the United States. A reminder that these organizations, we are bipartisan. Our jobs, it's to get these people to wake up, take action, protect our children, protect our families. Because remember, it involves all of you in a family. So, the HEAT Initiative. Go to my Twitter, go to Facebook, Lynn's Warriors. Everything is named Lynn's Warriors because I need everybody to step up and become a warrior. Yes, in 2023, we need warriors. You can no longer sit on the sidelines. You have to do something. You have to take action. If you go to Twitter and Facebook, Lynn's Warriors, you will see right there, pinned to the Twitter, on Facebook also. It is done for you. We have created a letter that goes directly. Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, and everyone that works with him. And all you have to do is sign up. You put your name, you put your zip code, and the letter will pop up with your email. It's very simple. And then you'll shoot it off. As of right now, we have just under 10,000 people who have done this. But of course, it's Apple. We need a lot more. And this is an initiative for the United States. But we cannot allow storage of videos of children being abused to be stored. And Apple knows it, and they're dragging their heels. And we've had many different meetings over the past couple of years to warn them, to show them they know what's going on. It's very interesting, though, because as we all know, if we post something, I don't know, Trump, vaccines, anything like that, we may be censored. But a child being raped, a baby being raped, and this is brutal. And that is why I began this with, if you're squeamish, don't listen. It's time, though, you hear about the brutal, truthful realities of what is going on in our United States of America. It is unbelievable, and it is unacceptable. So hashtag is Let's Rally. Let's call out Apple. They've got to do something about this. This is criminal. I mean, after all, I thought anything with a minor is criminal. We are never talking about adults. Whatever adults do, go do it, whatever. We are talking about children and babies. They cannot consent. That's what we need to focus on. We will not allow our children to be, I don't know why it's always just open season on kids. It's funny because somebody said to me again the other day, you're always talking about those kids. This line of work chose me. I didn't choose it. That's the bottom line. And yes, I will keep talking about children and babies and families in America because few are. Seems to be a lot of noise, a lot of groups, organizations, nonprofits, and, a lot of good ones. But there's also a lot of self-serving ones. We want our work to trickle down and make a difference to that victim, to that survivor, to that family. We want to help you. And I don't see a lot of that going on. Right now in Congress, we have so much noise. Everybody's distracted. But are the real issues being addressed and getting done? Because I don't see it. I do not see it. I used to go to Washington a lot, and I'll be returning next month. But you know what? I was wasting my time marching up and down those halls of Congress pre-COVID, a couple of times during COVID. Because what is happening? Things are getting worse. Apple, one of the biggest tech platforms, and we have to fight for the protection of our children. It is not right. We have to fight for our kids. So I want all of you to, let's rally. That's the hashtag. It is the HEAT Initiative. The Warriors is very proud to be a part of it. Go to Facebook, go to Twitter, mine, Lynn's Warriors, and find out. It's also on our website, lynswarriors.org, under Take Actions, because we need all of you. 10,000 is not enough. We need 1 million. We got a long way to go, but I know we can do it. I also wanted to point out that Ohio, this is good news, Operation Buyer's Remorse. We have these sweeps. They arrest the sex buyers. They arrest sometimes the prostitutes, which that's another conversation. A lot of these people are exploited. We don't want them arrested. We want them helped. Because we know upwards of 97% are forced into prostitution, the sex trade. And that is a definition of human trafficking, force, fraud, coercion, right? Domestic violence victims, a lot of those it crosses over, they are forced into the sex trade by an intimate partner, boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, whatever it may be these days. We have a lot of work to do. Somebody also mentioned to me the other day, they're like, wow, you're always talking about these human rights. Of course I am, because we are born with rights, freedom. Yet in the United States today, we have more people enslaved than any other time in history. We don't even know the numbers. They throw out the same old numbers they've been throwing out since pre-COVID. Open borders, despite anything political, having all these unaccompanied minors come over the borders. Nobody even gives out numbers anymore. That's just a processing station. It is our United States government working hand in hand with the cartels. Smooth transition. Nobody knows the numbers. Last we heard, it was 86,000 last February, almost a year ago. And nobody knows, nobody can answer, where are these kids when we ask? So we've got that. So we know that number at least. And that number, 85,000, 86,000, was probably underestimated. And we have tens of thousands more. We have reports from our boots on the ground at the Warriors about children being raped, abused, tossed aside, organ harvesting. Yet the media doesn't talk about it. Nobody talks about it. We have the current administration just doing nothing, not good enough. Fentanyl free-flowing. I don't care about their press conference. I saw a video clip earlier with Mayorkas saying, we are going to do everything in our power to stop this. No, you're not, because you'd close the borders. We want people to come here legally. I know people. I live in New York City. I'm a New Yorker. There are many hardworking people who came here legally who are very dismayed about what is going on. People just entering, coming, not vetted. We don't know about their medical histories, their criminal histories. These children are thrown into schools. And I feel sorry for these children. And I feel sorry for our children. It has to stop. It has to end. But getting back to this Operation Buyer's Remorse, the good news is that about 100 of these victims will now be given services. Victims of what is considered human trafficking. Services to exit, perhaps, the sex trade. Medical, psychological, whatever they need. And that is what needs to be done. It's called the equality model, if I branch out into some legislative actions. And that is something here in New York we're pushing very hard for, where we give services to what we consider our victims. Most of them are not doing this of their free will, but we do hold responsible the buyers, the sex buyers, brothel owners, pimps, traffickers. Can you imagine New York State? We got that AOC flapping our lips left and right. We've got them all. Gail Brewer, Chuck Schumer, Jerry Nadler. Haven't heard about him lately. He actually represents me. Nothing. Kirsten Gillibrand. Nobody seems to remember when I would bring up, a few years back, she was responsible for this whole mattress girl fiasco that went on here in New York, where the Columbia student I believe he's from Italy, was accused of raping a girl, and this girl went around carrying a mattress on her back, and she got all kinds of media coverage and this, that, and the other thing from Senator Kristen Gillibrand. And you know what? It eventually all turned out to be fake. I didn't hear any apologies issued. I also know, I did hear one time that this young man went back to Italy. His life was ruined, and he didn't complete his studies, but nothing. So we have elected representatives that are in it for themselves. I think we all know this. That is why each and every one of us has to take action in our own home and our communities, with our children, with our youth. I also want to talk about, I posted something from Common Sense Media. And this is a recent study, because we like studies, okay? We like focus groups. We want to know what teens are thinking, what middle schoolers are thinking, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. We even want to think what college students are thinking, because today, even though 18 is the legal adult, college students are overwhelmed and for the most part acting kind of on the young side. So we want to keep them in the fold as well. So say college, high school, middle school. But anyway, Common Sense Media. The study is about the use of youth and phones, and it's very interesting. So I would advise all of you, remember, I know people say it, but it's the truth. Knowledge is power. So go to our website, lynswarriors.org, go under Take Actions. I just posted it earlier. And click on it. It's right there, Common Sense Media. Just read it. Education is key, because we need open and honest communication with all of the kids. And let me leave you with a reminder, because this is Warrior Wednesday here in New York City on October 18th, 6 p.m. at the 3 West Club, which is 3 West 51st Street. I will be holding a dinner and a discussion with Jason Jones, who is the border correspondent for Newsmax. Also, great history with cartels, law enforcement, anything you want to know about the border. He gives you the hard facts. And we're going to sit and we're going to have a discussion. We're going to tell you what's going on. We're going to show you some pictures. It's realistic. But it doesn't end there, because we're giving you take actions. Because remember, it might not affect you at this moment. Each and every one of you are going to be affected in the near future by our open border. So we need to learn more. We need to collaborate. We need to come together. And we need to all take action. So remember this. I leave you with this all the time. Think about it. It's October already. Many things aren't getting done. We're being flooded here in New York with these illegal aliens. Yes, they are illegal aliens. We need to fight for our America. We need to stand up for our children and our families and protect. Get involved. Community creates change. I tell you this all the time. I want you to really think about this. lynswarriors.org. I've got my Lynn's Warriors radio program every Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, where I bring on expert guests and law enforcement, take actions for you, things you may not have heard about, but you need to hear about. You got to join us. You got to step up. And you have to remember always to be a warrior.